How's it, Sean from Combat Simulations? Welcome to my Getting Started tutorial for Civil War Battles demo. Alright, so before we get started, please subscribe to my channel, it's free. And also leave comments and suggestions. And watch my videos, and like them and share them, helps me a lot. Alright, so getting started. Turns 10, Brandy Station, October the 14th, 1863, and Ken Jones is the designer. Getting started tutorial, suggested players human for the Confederate and the AI for the Union. Outflanked and forced to retreat north, the Army of the Potomac had reached safety when the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia attacked the Union Army's line of march and threatened to block the escape of the Union Second Corps. General Henry Heth's division was leading the Confederate advance when he saw a chance to cut off and destroy a Union Army corps. He quickly deployed his two brigades and ordered them forward to seize the rail and road junction of Briscoe Station. Loss of this junction would put the Union Second Corps in a precarious position, isolated from army, outflanked, and with no way forward. Heath began his attack around 2:30 in the afternoon, but he quickly fell apart when the advancing rebels were surprised by Union troops positioned behind the railroad embankment. This is the situation. Can the rebel commander seize the junction, capture the junction, and win the campaign, or can the Union commander stave off the Confederate attack and save the Second Corps from almost certain destruction? All right, let's get started. The Union is for the AI. The rules. These are the rules that are suggested by the Getting Started scenario. So I read all that. So this is all set up correctly. And we begin. Turn 1 of 10, Confederate turn. Let's go and get the Getting Started scenario. I'm going to... Now let's just make it... Then what we'll do is we'll keep it like that and we can move it across the... Alright. And there we are. Nice, eh? Okay. Welcome. An introduction to Civil War battles. Getting started. Welcome to the Civil War Battle Series. The Civil War Battle Series consists of 15 titles encompassing almost the entirety of the American Civil War, from First Bull Run in 1861 through to Petersburg and Pocahontas, I can't pronounce that, in 1865. Though each game title is unique, various titles share common operational mechanics. This guide will review the mechanics of gameplay and help you get started quickly with your new Civil War Battles games. If you have installed the demo, then the main program will be running. Otherwise, you run the main program, click on the shortcut, create it on your desktop. If you prefer, you can print these instructions out. Alright, by default, after the instruction, the main program runs, prompting you for, no, that's just telling you that a list of, you can save the file. It didn't do it for us, but when you run it, it prompts you to save the game in the beginning. I'm going to put that over there. Then we picked this. Yeah, we picked that. I'm not going to read through all this. This is just the default rules, which I told you. These optional rules, and he's just showing you what rules to select for the scenario. Optional rules shows you I think we should read this. Optional rules dialog shows you what optionals you can set for any particular battle. Once you set or clear a rule in this dialog, it'll become the default for any subsequent battles that you start, unless you change it before the next game. Optionals can be changed cannot be changed during an ongoing game. For example, proportional opportunity fire causes defensive opportunity fire to be proportional to the number of men firing. This helps balance out opportunity fire. If you find that smaller groups of men are triggering excessive enemy fire. The extreme fog of war rule only allows hexes to be seen if a friendly unit has a direct line of sight. Additionally, enemy unit in a forest will show you its strength XXX. If in an open hex slightly more information is available, such as unit's partial strength showing you as 3XX, Please refer to the manual for better understanding of how these optionals can be used. Okay, once again, this is not a substitute for the manual. It's just like a getting used to the system. The system with John Tiller games and with these types of games, they all use the same. If you look at Panzer battles, it's the same thing. The things this thing's on the side or either at the bottom here. It's got all these items here. It has the same menus, just different for the setting. That's the only difference. Otherwise, they all sort of work in a similar way. So if you play one, you can play all the rest. Whenever you have questions, seek answers in the reference files found under Help, under the Help menu at the top of the screen. Under that Help menu, you'll find the following: General Help, Parameter Data, User Manuals. He's talking about this. So there's all the help you can get while you're playing. Now that the preliminaries are out the way, yay! We can start the scenario. After choosing and starting the scenario, the phase box will appear in the middle of the map, indicating that it's your turn and that this is the first turn of 10 turns in the scenario. Click anywhere in the dialog box to close it. Alternatively, you can right-click on the box and it will briefly display for future turns and then automatically disappear. At the top of the screen, you will observe the toolbar and menu bar that initiates various games commands that you will need when playing. Each of these commands is discussed in detail in the general help file. The appearance of the toolbar can be changed via the settings menu. Okay, so I'm just going to go briefly with you. The toolbars, all the things you can do, you've got you understand, we can combats, reports, and then we can click to highlight all the bars available. Under each little tool button is a tooltip appears. And if you want to get general help, which is this one, that one opens up a file, a PDF file that explains all the interface of the game. You know, what each menu thing means and all this type of stuff. And that's really what he's explaining to you here. Then he's also going to explain the jump map. The jump map, which is this. So that's handy. Say you want to go there, then it jumps you straight away to there. This is common in most of these types of games. Even in the very early ones, they had this. And then, of course, he's going to show you that there are many zooms in the games. He's talking about many zooms. So if we go down, we can... All right, there. So there's... And we can play it from this level. It's like a sort of a 3D zoom. Yeah, I don't know. I prefer the icons. And then you go up one, and then up one, and then up one. Then you got this level here, and then you got even a higher level. Because the Civil War battles can get humongous. They can get very large. Okay, so that's what he's explaining there. All right. Now we yeah, and then these on map labels, place names can be turned on or off using labels button in the toolbar. Okay, so you can... Where's the labels button? But anyway, you can find it here. That's just the interface. You can read the interface for doing that. All right, scenario. At Briscoe Station, the Confederates advanced towards the railroad junction from the northwest. General Heth, he's the division commander in General A.P. Hill's Third Corps, saw some Yankees retreating along the line from the south to the north. Instinctively, he thought to attack the junction and break the line of retreat. He quickly ordered his two leading brigades, commanded by General Cook and Kirkland, to form up in line of battle and to advance on the railroad. What he didn't know was that the Union troops had seen the advance of the Confederates and ordered the Union troops to take defensive positions behind the railroad embankment. The embankment offered protection from fire and hid many of the troops from view. This is the situation at the start of the scenario. Alright, so let's take a closer look. Closer look at the battlefield above reveals the Confederate objectives. Reveals the objectives of the Confederate attack. The rail and road junction on the Orange and Alexander Railroad, and a bridge crossing the river further to the south. These are indicated by Union flags. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so there we've got Brandy Station, and then we've got Bristoe, and then there's one over here. Okay. As Yeah, indicated by Union flags. As the Confederate General Heth, your plan is to attack the Union position, inflict as many casualties as possible, and take the specified objectives. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a status bar which will report information to you about the battle and error message that occurred during while you're playing. So he's talking about this here, the status bar, 2:20 p.m. in the afternoon. It's October the 14th, 1863. The Confederates turn 1 of 10. Day, it's in the day. Visibility is 40 hexes, and it's clear and dry. Notice the message is telling you the time of day, the date, the player turn, the visibility, and weather. Many of these features in the game are subject to weather. Other types of weather conditions could see visibility reduced, fire and combat modifiers applied, and movement reduced. Okay. Using the left mouse button, click on the various locations on the map. Notice when you click on the location containing soldiers, the display at the bottom of the screen, hex info area shows you a detailed list of the forces in that location. So what he means is this. So let's just get closer. If I click there, he's talking about the bottom of the screen. So he's got this laid, this thing that I've got on the side. He's got it lying down at the bottom here. I prefer it on the side. You can have it lying down. I think you can also have it as on the left hand side. Yeah, so the X area shows detailed information of the forces in that location. For example, if you select the hex 11.8, let's just go and do that. Yeah, so we are on 11.8, so we selected the right one. For example, if you select, you can see the location contains one gun of the 2nd Rock Bridge Artillery, the 27th North Carolina Regiment of Cook's Brigade, and the 2-gun battery of the Alabama Artillery. So we do have it there. I'm going to keep this here. Yeah, there's can't really see it that clearly, but 27th North Carolina, yeah, Alabama Artillery, and 2nd Rock Bridge. Okay. Note that the strength of each is 100%, indicating that they have not taken any losses. Unit quality is displayed next, followed by the range of the weapon used by the unit. Movement points are standard across unit types. Lastly, fatigue is shown as 0. Fatigue will increase as a unit takes fire, incurs casualties, participates in combat, or fails to rest at night. Phew, fails to rest at night. Okay, so there we got strength, we got the quality, it's the range that it can shoot to, the gun can shoot for in hexes, obviously. The movement of each unit, how far they can move, fatigue, and what they are. They're in line position, are they unlimbered, that sort of thing. Additionally, to the far right is a box containing a hex information terrain. Okay, he's talking about the far right. So he means down to the far right down here. He's talking about this spotted X. So there it is there. Clear elevation, clear elevation 180 feet and ammo 260. Obviously that's question mark because that's got fog of war in there. Yeah, box containing hex information, terrain type, elevation, ammo refers to the remaining artillery ammo supply. Okay, the first number appears as because it represents as a question mark because it represents the Union side's ammo supply. Since extreme fog of war is present, the supply amount is unknown to the Confederate side. The second number represents the Confederate ammo supply. It will be reduced by 1 every time a rebel gun is fired. For example, if the 2-gun Alabama Artillery Regiment battery is fired, the ammo supply will drop by 2 to 258. Note, artillery ammo can be displayed differently depending on whether the optional rule artillery ammo by cannon is in effect. Okay, so what he means is we've got 260, and if we've got one gun, if we fire, it'll drop by 1. This guy's got 2 guns. If he fires both guns, it'll drop by 2. You understand? That's really what it is. Simple, eh? It's worth noting that this hex area bar can be located on any side of the stream. Simply go. Oh, he's talking about this. So this hex, where is it? Settings, and he means hex info. Yeah, see this hex here. I can have it at the bottom on the left. I can have it at the bottom. You see what I was talking about the bottom. I prefer it on the right. Not all of them. Not all these games you can do this. That you can set it like this. Just this one particularly, you got all these places to set it. Additionally, information can be obtained for each unit in the hex by clicking and holding down the right mouse button. This will show you a unit's organization and a unit's weapon type. For example, the Rock Bridge Artillery is a 24 pound howitzer, while the Alabama Artillery is a 2-gun battery of 3-inch rifles. Note the range differences between the two main guns. Also note that the 27th New York Regiment is armed with rifle muskets. Okay, so you see 24 pounder, 3-inch guns. This is the organization, table of organization. You know, that's what that is. And then he tells you what types of guns, a rifle, musket. And then you can see the range. He's got a range of 11. He's got a range of 21. So the rifle guns have got a much larger range. You understand? The 24-pound howitzers, they've only got a range of 11. You understand? Comprende? Okay, let's... Now this just goes through the... I need to read this. This is the victory screen. Before you start the Confederate turn, we should inform ourselves about the scenario's victory conditions. This information is available anytime by clicking on the victory conditions button in the toolbar or going to the info menu and choosing victory. Doing so at this time will show you the image on the left. Please note that the victory conditions are given from the Union perspective. The first side can vary by scenario. At the start, the Union side has a total of 600 objective points divided across 3 objectives. Neither side has any losses yet, so the Union Rebel side's losses show as 0. This scenario has no gunboats, so these will be ignored. The most important is the victory values box. This box shows victory point totals needed for varying victory levels of victory. With 600 objective points, the Union side begins the scenario with a minor victory. The rebels will have to capture some objectives or cause enough losses on the Union side to reduce the score to 100 points or less to achieve a Union defeat or a rebel victory, depending how you look at it. So he means he's talking about this. All the games have this. There it is there. Right, so he said he has 600. He actually has 800. Yeah, he's got 800. He's got a Union, so he's got 600. My mistake. This is just showing you the variation of the defeats. So he's got 600, and he has, he's got. You see this? He's got all. So 600 makes him okay, so there we go. Between 400 and 800. So he's lying between there. He has 600 because of a minor victory, and that's because he has that in objective points. So each of these objective points is worth, does it tell you, 100 points? That one's worth 300 points, and that one's worth 200 points. So he's got that. But if we cause enough casualties, because the casualties add up in here. They point losses for casualties lost. So you lose victory points and gain victory points from inflicting casualties and getting casualties. All right. Okay, Confederate first turn. Now that we've properly introduced the basic game appearance, it's time to start the Confederate attack on the Union position. The tactical situation suggests that you will need to advance your forces across the battlefield and attempt to occupy the Union objectives along the railroad. These are identified by Union flags, which will change to Confederate battle flags if we succeed in occupying these locations. The objective at Bristoe Station in Hex 1512 was the initial object of the Confederate attack. This hex doesn't appear to be defended, but this may be due to the rebels' inability to see into that particular hex. To view the visible hexes, click on any rebel unit and then click on the binocular icon on the toolbar or press V on the keyboard. Okay, so he means that. So if we press V, let's make it easy. There we go. See all the hexes we can see. That's actually quite nice. Eh? That's lit up with what we can see and it's darker what we can't see. See that? And he says there is a... There we go. Oh no, that's not the... It's here somewhere. I just don't know where it is now. But it's V. V is very important. It was here. Oh no, it might be here. There we go. 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 See there. And then you can click on any guy and you can see what they can see. You understand? This is with all John Tiller games. I see you can't see in Bristoe Station. That's why we can't. It's not visible. Okay, I'm just gonna take it off. Yeah. Each turn, there are three fundamental actions you perform: moving, firing, and melee. You can move any or all of your units each turn, but once the unit is fired, it cannot move for the rest of the turn, except to melee. Every action in the game first requires that you select units. There are two ways of selecting units. Using the left mouse button, you can click on the picture of a unit in the hex info bar. So important you move. You can move any of your units, but once a unit fires, that's it. He moves in it. So you can move this unit, you can move that unit, you can move them, and then but once any unit fires, it ends his turn, his movement turn. What do we want to do? Shit, what was he saying? Okay, in this fundamental, there are okay, selecting units is what he's talking about. Let's get on that side. Okay, so he means, yeah, so you can select, look, it's very, very intuitive. You can highlight them, that means you selected, or you can double click on them. Then the whole lot is selected. Simple, eh? Okay. Alternative, you can double click on any unit in the map. Right, start the attack by advancing your rebel forces towards the Union position at Bristoe Station. Remember, by looking at the information toolbar at the top, you can determine if bad weather is present and if the visibility has been reduced. He's talking about this toolbar. So you remember this toolbar here. Yeah, visibility 40 hexes. Okay, you can determine whether invisibility has been reduced. Also, if bad weather were present, then the movement and the effects of combat could be negatively impacted. However, in this scenario, it's clear and dry, so everything is normal. There is a Union battle line. There is a Union battle line to the right of the objective hex, so beware. To obtain victory points for this hex, the Confederates will have to be in the possession of this hex at the end of the scenario. So it's pretty straightforward. Okay, remember, this is linear warfare. Now, this is important to understand this, because these are the nuances, like different from panzer battles when you got tanks and stuff. These guys are marching in long lines and marching in columns and stuff like that. Remember, this is linear warfare. Units generally moved in line, and regiments performed best when they had friendly regiments lined up on either side of them. So, not only do you want to keep your formations in mind, you also want to maintain command and control, to where the units remain within distance of their direct superior in order to remain in command. This will help them retain good order or recover from disruption route in a timely manner. The image on the left has two functions selected. Highlight organization, which puts your... Let's talk about these leaderships. Okay, so you highlight organization. I think it's here. Oh, that's command range, but we want to highlight organization. Let me just see what he says here. Uh, yeah, okay. Image has two functions select highlight organ, which puts the yellow border around all the units in the command, and then view command range, which we are seeing, which we are seeing all the hexes that Brigadier J.R. Cook exerts his control. Historically, General Heth ordered two brigades, those of Generals Cook and Kirkland, to make the initial attack. These troops are are in line of battle facing the railroad. Starting on the right of the Confederate line, select the 46th North. So what we'll do is we'll just do what he says, and then we'll read what he says to do, and then go do it. Of Cook's brigade, and then advance directly towards the objective. Select the unit by double-clicking on the unit on the map. Move the unit by holding down the left mouse button and dragging the cursor to the X you want to move to, and then releasing the button. Okay. So he moves there. So he's talking about this one on this. Okay, so let's just get this done. Um, ooh, I'm just trying to find out where this. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so yeah, we've got. You see, organizational. Now this, hang on, this is supply highlight organization and command units. So if we select that, oh, okay, know what that command units, but highlight organization there. Okay, so if we click on him, if we double click on him, he highlights. He's the big honcho. He's in command. Then this just highlights the organizations under his control. This highlights this organization, which he has got control. That highlights his organization, his brigade. You understand? Um, Now I want to see where. Yeah, so that's the where's the range of these units where they command range. Okay, there we go. There we go. Seize the command range. So what you want to do is you want to keep these guys in command range of each other. Like you see, your big general's got a big command range. He's got a smaller one, so he's the big honcho. He's a big boy. He's the big boy. So you want to keep these guys always in command range of within this area. Otherwise, you're going to have penalties. Uh, Now I forget how to take that thing off. Where was it now? Where did I? Oh shit. Yeah, where was that? Oh, okay, there we go. That's command range. It doesn't say that. Command range. There we go. As you can't remember. Yeah. So that's the 46th. That's the 46th Brigade, right? 46th North Carolina. When you do this, the arrow will appear indicating the path of movement. Each unit will lose movement points as it enters a new hex. In clear terrain, in good weather, a unit in battle formation uses 2 movement points to enter a new hex. Alternatively, once a unit is selected, you can move it to an adjacent hex by moving the cursor to the hex and then right click. We know, but if you watch my, so it means like, who's this? This is the 46. Very hard to see. Yeah, it's the 27th North Carolina, which he did say was what we were supposed to move, right? It's the 46th North Carolina. Okay. Um, a full accounting of movement costs across terrain can be easily found by clicking on the help and on the top menu and choosing parameter data, or press the F2. The parameter data file includes key information for each scenario. The players will find it extremely beneficial to study this and refer to the So he's talking about this. So if we press F2, oh no, that opens up the manual. Okay, we don't want that. He did say F2, right? Or did yeah, he said F2. Okay, well that's fine. You go here. They might have changed it. The parameter data help, and then that. This is defined for each scenario. So just when they make the scenarios, these are the unique movement or things that are particular to that scenario. They usually don't change, but it gives you like the fatigue costs. This is the whole scenario document. The movement, the combat modifiers for the scenario, the weather, how it's going to change. So you can modify all these. I think this is the weapon repeating. Where's the movement? His movement is down here. Napoleons. These are the various ranges of the Napoleons. It's an extensive document. I mean, uh, where's the movement now? Okay. Yeah, there's your movement. Okay, so your movement parameters. So blocked, clear is 2, like you said. Any water, zero car move in there is blocked. Orchards is 3 movement costs. So each unit gets a movement, what they can move. 12, that's their movement. Um, so each unit's given movement points, and then it deducts. Each time it moves into X, it minuses that. It takes that parameter data off. I know I'm explaining it strange, but you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. And this parameter data is very important. It's like an extensive document of that particular scenario. So how that scenario is created. So when you create this scenario, you could make the infantry movement costs 3 in clear. That type of stuff is how that scenario is designed. Okay, so the movement of the 46 New York towards Briscoe Station proceeds for three more hexes before it receives fire from defenders. This is known as opportunity fire, which is conducted by the computer when the automated defensive fire optional rule is in effect. Okay, so this is done for either side in their turn. In the image to the left, the New York regiment suffered a loss of 10 men from the volley from the Union defenders. A check on the 46 New York unit image would now show you the strength is now down to 97% and casualties have been inflicted. I'm just going to read this once. Okay, so we'll just read this, then we'll do that. Okay, then we'll do the action. But let's just read and see Once it advances adjacent to the objective hex at Briscoe Station, the 46 New York uncovers the Union troops defending the hex. These Yankees could not be seen from the initial rebel positions. Clicking on the objective hex allows us to view the defenders via the hex information area at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so maybe we should move it. Okay, so he's talking about he moved so maybe we just got a bit too far. 46 North Carolina, right? Who's this? That's the 48th, right? No, that's the 27th. 15th, the 46. This is the 46. I can't even see properly, man. Is that the 46? Yeah, that looks like the 46. And this is the 48. So he's moved the 46 in there. Okay, so what he's talking about is this one, 46. I hope that's right. I can't see it properly. So he's moved it, across there. So it fits there. So we're going to double click on it. And we're going to, Okay, he didn't take any shots. Yeah, it's Jason. He didn't take any shots. So that was all right. We didn't take any shots there. Okay, so we've moved it. Now he says when you click on this thing, the objective X, we get this information here. We get 300 points, Amistol, elevation clear, and we get this amount of men in here. What does he say about that? That is a 40. Was that the North Carolina? I'm just making sure, yeah. 46 North Carolina. Okay. All right. So what does he say here? The 46 North Carolina can. Okay, so clicking on the objective hex shows us shows us to view the defenders via the hex information area at the bottom of the screen. You'll see that the station is defended by the 42nd New York Regiment with a strength of at least 100 men. Note that the exact number is unknown due to the extreme fog of war. Fog of war. The fog of war also masks the victory points attached to the objective. Well, it doesn't in this one. And we've got extreme fog of roll. No, it doesn't mask that. It tells us that. So there must have been a change in their rule. Is this the 42nd? Well, we can see that it's the 42nd New York. Okay, just got battling to read that. Okay, but before the Confederates can assault the objective, there are other things to do. First, the 46th can fire at the Union defenders. Additionally, the Confederate forces should move. Additionally, the Confederate force should move other units to join the attack. You might have noticed that some Confederate units near the rear cannot move. They are fixed. Fixed units can only move when they are released, or when the enemy units come within 5 hexes of their position and are visible. You can check the fixed units by clicking on the toolbar button for that. Also, the release schedule can be checked by the toolbar button or by going to the units menu and selecting releases. Click on the button at the release. A release schedule will appear. Clicking on a time, click on a time, and the units will be released at that time will be highlighted on the map. Okay, so let's just. Where did he say this was? He's talking about this, man. Releases. Oh, yeah. Releases. There we go. So we click on it. There we go. There's the release. And it's going to be released on the 14th of October, 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Yeah, and we are sitting now. What is this? But that's 3 p.m. It's later today. Yeah, it's later today. Okay, so let's just see that again. Releases. Okay, so it's high and Rebel Walker Archer brigades, and then we've got these that will also be released. At the moment they are also fixed, so you can't move them. Yeah, they're also yeah. Oh yeah, there it says fixed on the picture. You see the picture is fixed. You gotta watch these things, otherwise you don't get that. All right, so okay, that's fair enough. Note the screen as a next to each unit. It didn't have that. No, it didn't have that next to each unit. Releases. No, I don't see that. I see high. Maybe that's what it is. This is the probability factor for release, and it is masked since we are using. Well, it's not masked in my one, so they give that away. Must be changed since this document was made. That value could range from 100% guaranteed to 5% very little chance. It will vary from scenario to scenario. It's brilliant, that, eh? Based on the what the designer is trying to model. This type of info is often referenced in the scenario description, so you have some idea of when to expect access to the remainder of your force. Okay. As the rest of the Confederate units advance, they occasionally receive more fire from the defenders, but eventually Cook's brigade is in position and ready to attack. Okay, so we must move that. Remember what we said. Move your regiments into supporting positions on the flanks of your other units wherever possible. It's also wise to turn the end regiment to refuse your flank. So he's talking about this one here. Or in the position the screenshot below. The flank naturally bends away from the enemy, and so the end units have a certain level of protection. Okay, so there's the so you got to remember these guys also have facings, eh? You can see it on there. You see there that facing is down. See, those facings are down. You can change their facing, and facing is very important in this era. Very important. You think facing's nothing? Facing's very important. It's more important than any other era. It's because you can be flanked. So this is showing that he's looking down. He's facing down, but you can change his facing. You see this? See, counterclockwise or whatever. So that's how you change his facing. All right. So now he wants us like this. There's one on top of that. So that obviously means this one here. Okay, so I'm just... Okay, so he took some damage. Okay, so there's the guy. And he has to move to there. Okay, so he's taking some... See the 11 men. And his fatigue is 42. and he's got no more movements. Now this guy, he was put on top of the hill and he's facing that way. So we're going to refuse. This is refusing the flank. Yeah, so he... Okay, so basically this is protecting you. So that if you put a unit over here and he comes on there and then he pins you with this one and he can flank you, yeah, what this is refusing it. It's refusing him to get onto your flank. To get onto your flank, he must go up, he must move 3-4 squares and then get on the right. So it's much more difficult. So this is refusing the flank. Yeah, very important. Okay, so we got everybody there now. The rest of his troops also fire. Okay, the rest of his troops also fire on way to the line, but eventually they will all be in position ready to attack. Let's pause here. Okay, so did I fire? Did I fire? Okay, no, I did. He didn't ask me to fire yet, did he? Just trying to so we don't get laid back. He just moved there. Okay, so he didn't. All right. The rest of his troops also fire on the way to the line, but eventually they're all in position and ready to attack. Let's pause here to revisit a few features of play that merit further explanation. Yes, very important. These topics include unit formations, visible hexes, and turn phases. Okay, so let's go one down. All right, so let's start with this one. All right, so unit formations. The basic unit formations are as follows: infantry in line, able to move, fire, and melee, and can also deploy skirmishers. Infantry in column, lowest movement costs, especially along pikes, roads, and trails, and cannot fire. Dismounted cavalry, able to fire their small arms, defend more like infantry, able to move through woods into woods without disordering. Mounted cavalry, double the unit's dismounted speed, fast along pikes, roads, and trails, scouting and melee advantages, cannot fire. Infantry cannot melee against mounted cavalry unless the cavalry is routed. Okay. Unlimited artillery, able to fire, cannot move, but can change facing, cannot move, change formation, change facing, and fire in the same turn. So it can't do all that in the same turn. Limbered artillery can move, quickest along pipes, roads, and trails, cannot fire when limbered, and cannot unlimber and fire in the same turn. So you need 2 moves for that. Different formations are illustrated in 2D and 3D images below. Okay, so there we go. To change a unit's formation, first select the unit, double click on the unit on the map or click on the unit's information bar. Once a unit is selected, there are 3 ways to initiate a formation change. Use a hotkey, Control plus C, and 2. Click on the word command at the top menu and select the change formation. Okay, so basically, he's talking about that. So we can go there and we change formation. Okay, so it's Control plus C. So Control and C. Sorry, man. I don't know why this is open. I don't need that open. Yeah, command and change formation. Use the toolbar button. Also, most other tasks have the same 3 options. Okay, so fair enough. So you can change the formations. You can change it into all of these: infantry into column, column into line, mounted into dismounted, that sort of thing. Units in column formation can take advantage of road movement, 1 movement point per hex, and do not worry about things like elevation changes and trees along as long as the movement continues along the road. Traveling in column formation is fast, but not without its disadvantages. Mainly, if they are fired upon, they are sitting ducks. Units in column formation cannot fire back, right? Yeah, cannot fire at all. Generally, when getting close to enemy units, the preferred formation is the line of battle. Only units in line of battle can fire. During the Civil War, almost all combat, fire and melee, occurred using the line of battle formation, although column formation was used when storming bridges and fortifications. So you can understand when you want to use column, and that's narrow. That's narrow entrances, narrow places. You would obviously have to use column formation. But you and it does have I don't know if it's got melee disadvantages. Yeah, it cannot fire, but I think the melee disadvantages are right. It's for narrow areas. Yeah, storming bridges and fortifications. Same logic applies to cavalry and artillery. Mounted cavalry are fast. Their movement capability doubles. But, like infantry column formation, they cannot fire. Similarly, limbed artillery can move, but they cannot fire. Also, artillery must be unlimited to fire. Artillery cannot move, change formation, or change facing and fire in the same turn. So either doing but not both. Okay, that was important. Most units in this scenario are in line battle formation at the start, just before the Confederates attack. So the Confederates didn't have to change formation, but it's crucial during the game to make sure you use the best, correct formation to execute battle plans. And I'd say it's the most important in this type of battle. Napoleonics, American Civil War, formations are most important. Most important. You have to have the right formations for the right methods or right things to do. If you don't have those formations, you're in trouble because if you're coming along the roads, you must march in column. You need the speed to get the troops where you need to get them. Before you get into battle, when you get close to the enemy, get into line. So it's very, very important. There are two aspects to visibility: range and line of sight. Range refers to how far your unit can see with no obstructions. Range varies by time of day, night, dawn, dusk, okay, and according to weather conditions. Range for each unit can be seen in the information bottom at the bottom of the screen. Line of sight also affects a unit's ability to see the enemy. Line of sight depends on elevation and terrain. Units on a higher ground have more unobstructed views of the battlefield. Makes sense. They are also able to see over some terrain features that could normally block a line of sight. Things like forests, orchards, and towns. All right. But this depends critically on the elevations and distances of these objects relative to the observing unit. Fortunately, players can view the visibility of the visible hexes, by selecting any unit and clicking on the toolbar or pressing the V key. So basically, um, V, right? So you can see wherever. Okay, there must be a unit in there, but okay. So if you click, there has to be a unit in there. So you can basically see any unit's line of sight, what they can see from that position. And there has to be a unit in there. See that? Yeah. It's brilliant, that line of sight. Okay. To illustrate, suppose you select the rebel artillery located at 10-8. So let's get to 10-8. Where is he? Is this 10-8? No, that's 11-8. Okay, 10-8. Okay, so we got him selected. Let's just highlight him. Yeah, 10-8. And then click on visible hexes icon. Alright. Well, if we press V, that's easiest. So where is the visible X? Is that there it is. This little binoculars there. You see there? It's just as simple. That's what he can see. Alright? Go back here. Okay. The image below is what we observe. All the hexes outlined in yellow are visible to the rebel artillery battery and the LTC Macintosh. Notice how the elevation and terrain affects the ability to see parts of the battlefield. Yeah. Notice that the observing unit's line of sight is blocked by other units. Oh, oh yes. Oh yes. So he can't necessarily see. Yeah, I see it's blocked there. He can't see further there. It's blocked by other units. And there's two ways of using this. There's that one button that makes everything yellow that he can't see. I prefer this. Sorry. I prefer this. You understand this? This darkening. See, where everything light he can see and everything dark is hidden. Everything light he can see and everything dark is hidden. You can't see it. That's the best way. I prefer it like this. There is this where you can switch it to yellow. Like this over here. But I don't. That doesn't. I prefer it the way it's much better with that. But you can use that thing. It's in the menu there. Notice that observed as blocked by higher elevations and by forests and other features of the map. The height of various objects on the map are referenced in the parameter data file and may vary from scenario to scenario. So even this file, even this parameter data has the heights. Heights, command distances, movement parameters, heights. It even specifies the height of everything, like the tree heights and whatever. It's flipping brilliant. Eh? Let's just take that V off here. Okay. All right. Finally, be aware the LTC Macintosh battery may fire at a target in a visible hex only if the guns are facing in that direction and if the target is within the gun's range. Okay, so there's other parameters. So we've got it there, but it also must be, if you're going to fire on something, it must be in the range. That's 13 hexes range, and he must be, if he's pointing down, he can't obviously fire over there. So that's important considerations you have to take into account. Tip: you can change the way visible hexes is displayed by going to the settings menu and selecting hex highlights. You will then be given the option of hex shading and whatever, or hex outlines. I prefer it this way. Where's the hex highlights? It's just going to show you. You see here, hex shading. See, if you got the hex outline and you press the V, then you get all this yellow. But it's crap, eh? Yeah, it's just confusing, eh? So it's way better, way better. I don't know whoever came up with that. No. Hex shading. Way better to have it shaded, eh? Way better. Now you can see what the hell's going on. Yeah. And then just press the V key. Alright, so, yeah. Okay. Okay, so there's no more on here, eh? Alright, so, turn phases. The selection of optional melee resolution optional breaks each turn into two distinct phases, a movement phase and a melee phase. Each turn begins with the movement phase. During the game, the player can move, fire, change formation, change facing, bring on reinforcements, etc. But he cannot initiate melee. That's attacker hex occupied by the enemy. The optional melee rule resolution is described in the melee section of the user's manual. This rule only affects turn play. Phase play already has a separate melee phase. I'm not sure what that is, but I see this is the standard one. When a player completes a movement phase, he must click on the advance phase button in the toolbar to advance to the next turn. During the melee phase, a player can initiate one or more melees. Use the advance to next unit button on the toolbar. Use the advance to next unit button on the toolbar. Comes in handy when in melee phase. Helps not to miss anyone. To illustrate how to conduct a melee, let us return to the scenario and execute the Confederate attack on Briscoe Station and its Yankee defenders. Okay. So this is, it's long words, but they have to explain it somehow. This just ends the turn. All right. Ends the phase. So you got the movement phase and then the melee phase. He hasn't asked us to fire yet, so we haven't fired anything. Maybe we're going to fire now. Okay, return to the Confederate turn. Don't advance the phase just yet. Rather, let's return to the situation prior to our discussion of unit formations, etc. Recall that Heath's two brigades had advanced to attack. On the way forward, they took some fire from Union defenders and suffered from losses. Yes, of course, we saw that. Now it's time for the Confederates to return fire on the Union defenders, so we must fire back. This can be done by selecting the units that you want to fire. Recall that units can be selected via the hex information bar at the top of the screen, okay. The latter will activate all units next. Also remember that units can fire any time during a player's movement turn, but once he is fired, it's over. He can no longer move. Very important to realize that. So move first, then fire. Note, if you're using double click method and some units cannot fire, either wagons, unlimited artillery, low on ammo, you will need to deselect them. Yeah, okay, go, fair enough. Also, before firing, we must toggle the fire mode. The easiest way is to press the control key. Press and hold the control key. So if we press and hold it, see that thing turns to a. See how the icon turns to, and this is in all the games. See that? So that's fire mode. That's the best way to do it. This allows you to easily swap back and forth between moving and firing simply by depressing or releasing the key. You can also use the button on the toolbar. First green one in the top left-hand corner of the toolbar. Oh, he says this one here. Oh, he's talking about this one. Move and fire. There we go. So this just keeps us in fire mode. This button here. All right. Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. So double click on hex 1411. Is this for? Yeah. Okay. So we double click and we've got it highlighted, as you notice over there. Which will select the 46th New York Regiment and press and hold the control key. Now move the cursor over the target hex. Let's choose the hex 1512 with the Union 42nd New York Brigade and right click the mouse. Watch as you fire a volley. Okay, so 1512. Okay, so he's firing into the objective hex 1512. So I'm gonna control and yes. So he's firing back. We lost 5 men, he lost 13. Okay, we select that and press control. Now move the cursor. Okay, so we fire. The Confederate player can select each unit or stack of units to be fired in any sequence. So that's important. But for illustration, let's fire the rebel units in a systematic fire. Now toggle the move fire button in the toolbar. So this means this. Toggle that so we've got it on. This will switch the movement from movement to fire and stay there until you switch it back. Note that the cursor will change to, yeah, we know that it's crosshair, right? Using the next unit button in the middle mouse, the middle one. Okay, so next stack. Okay, next unit, all right? We'll move the cursor to the next unit able to fire. Doing this brings up the Macintosh battery. Okay, let's just see. So we click on that. Okay, so there's the This is the Macintosh battery. Okay. Yeah. So I'll tell you. Select the Danville's via battery, and then move the cursor over the target. Let's choose the Yankee unit at 1412. Then right-click the mouse and watch the guns blast the Yankee defenders. Note the Confederate guns cannot see the Yankee units in objective heads, so they cannot target them. Firing rebel guns inflicts fort on the. Okay, so where are we going to shoot? 1412. Okay, well, let's just take that off for now so we don't. Where are we going to shoot 1412? Is he talking about this one? Where is it? 1412. 1412. He's talking about that one. Is that where can he see that? Let's just see. V. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me go and select him again. Oh, he can. He can. This is 1412, so he can. See there, he can select him. You can see. See, you can see that one, like he said. Alright, so we're going to put this thing on there. Yeah, so can I see that you can firing that flicks 4 casualty to fire next to click the next button and repeat until all rebels have fired. Okay, so we're gonna shoot. Where? No. Oh, I've got to select it. Okay. Boom. Alright, that's 2 men. Can I shoot again? Oh, no. Okay, next unit. I wonder if we can shoot those. Where does he want us to shoot? Let me just see here. Let me just read this till finish. The results may vary. I would like to mention that opportunity fire from the defenders is possible, even in counter battery fire. Okay. And the fire doesn't always come from the hex being fired upon. Opportunity fire, so counter batteries can shoot. Let me just read it. Opportunity from any eligible enemy unit. So it's possible to suffer more casualties than you inflict on the enemy. It is also possible that opportunity fire will cause one or more of your firing units to become disordered. a condition which renders them unable to participate in a melee. In short, it's not always wise to shoot just because you can. It's worth pointing out another tool to manage your artillery fire, the artillery dialog button, which is handy to have. By selecting, you can open up a new window that lists all artillery lists that are currently unlimited in your army. Those that can fire are bold text, and those that cannot are grayed out. What is exceptionally useful about this tool is when your artillery battery is selected, all of the available targets are highlighted. You can easily. That's brilliant. Hey, that's brilliant. So he's talking about, where is it? This. Okay, but now. Okay. Oh, okay. So now he didn't highlight that. What did he say there? What's this is when the artillery battery is selected, all of its available targets come. Oh, okay. So he's talking about if we okay. Let's just. It's not showing me all available targets. Okay, let's just shoot. Okay, so we can't shoot again. Where's the thing? Oh, there it is. See there. See there. See how it's all highlighted. We selected it there. See there. See the see the highlights. See there. The yellow box around them. So we'll just shoot there. Ah, shit. Okay, so we've got. Okay, I must send some more. Okay, the next target. Oh, can he shoot? Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, I've got to highlight them. Okay, I've got to highlight them on the side, yeah. You gotta highlight them, so I can't shoot. I see the opportunity fires coming. Okay, let's go to another next one. We highlight it. See all the opportunity fire that's coming, yeah? All units have been considered, even this one. Isn't this one that can't shoot? Okay. So we take that off. That's dangerous. You've got to be careful of that because you can easily fire, and if you haven't made all your movements, that's the end of the turn, eh? Okay. Once the Confederate player has completed fire, it's time to occupy the objective hex. Imagine, if you will, the rebel officers urging the men forward to the point of contact. If the defenders yield, then both the attackers will occupy the hex. If the defenders yield, then the attackers will occupy the. If they don't yield, the attackers will be denied entry to the hex. Both sides will suffer casualties, become disordered, and become fatigued. For now, though, let's concentrate on making the attack. First, the Confederate must advance the game phase from the movement phase to the melee phase. By doing this, do this by clicking on the next phase button on the toolbar. A dialog will appear prompting you to save the game file. You can accept it, default, blah, 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 blah. This will only happen the first time since we have not saved this game previously. Tip: it's a good idea to select Ask Before Advancing option under the Settings menu. Selection of this setting will help avoid accidental advance of the turn phase. Ask Before Advancing. I have it clicked on. All right. And then he just boom. We're gonna. Okay, so now that's what's gonna happen. So we're gonna. This is the advance. Okay, and we say yes. Okay, so now we advance in the melee phase. Alright. Okay. Click on the image to enter the melee phase. Yeah, let's first try to take the objective hex. The regiments in Cook's Brigade are ready. Hex 1411 contains the new 46 New York Regiment and Colonel Grimmer. Select the stack. So we didn't tell us to move Colonel Grimmer. This is the 46 and that's the 48th. Well, we better move him then. This is Colonel Glimmer. Oh, we can't move him. Oh, we can't move him because it really didn't tell us to move Colonel Glimmer. How's this guy? Select the stack of heads by double-click on the X, then drag the cursor to the objective X. You will see the melee screen appear. Upon committing the Confederates to attack, upon committing the Confederates to the attack, they will receive some additional opportunity fire from the defenders and suffered some losses, but did not disorder. Results may vary. Okay, resolve the melee using resolve battle. So this is the 46, right? So if I hold it down and okay. So I got some opportunity fire and whatever. To resolve the melee, use the resolve melee button. Where's combat? That one. This is resolve, add to melee. Resolve melee. We didn't get anything. Okay, so we didn't. Alright, so that the results appear instantly. Success. The rebels have ejected the Union defenders from the X and have advanced to claim the objective for themselves at a loss of 24 defenders to 13 attackers. That didn't happen to us. So we attacked with him. Maybe because we didn't have this guy that we were supposed to take up that he didn't tell us to take up. I don't see anywhere where he said take us up. Okay, so he's advanced there. We might have to advance other. Up to this point, I'd selected on map results to inform me of the losses from all offensive fire and opportunity fire. With on map results only, the losses appear on the screen. If you wish to see more detailed reports, you can deselect that option under the settings menu. The downside of this option is you must click OK on each. Okay, so you talk about this on map results. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But if you take that away, so the downside to this option is that you must click OK. Okay, so that's just yeah. All right, so that's just a thing to help you. To resolve melees, the game calculates the total number of men attacking and the total number of men defending. Then it applies all terrain and other combat modifiers prior to the resolution of the melee. These modifiers are discussed in the user manual under the help section. Let's continue with our melees. The 48 can join the attack on the railroad station. We don't want to go too far on this. Where do we clear? Can we clear all units from the map? I don't know how to do that. I'm just seeing if I can clear all units on the map. Oh, toggle units. Ah, brilliant. Okay, so now we can see what's underneath the map. That's brilliant. Okay, so that's really what I wanted. Okay. All right. Yeah, on the attack on the railroad station, but it is in position to attack the defenders. Could join the attack on the railroad. Using the toolbar buttons this time, click Start Melee button, then select the 27th New York Regiment and click Add to Melee button. Second from at this point, the defenders may fire on the 27th. Find resolve them and click Resolve. The results are disappointing. The rebels. So he's talking about this one. Must we go again here? Okay, let's see what he says now, just to make sure. He could join the attack on the railroad station, but it is in position to attack the defenders on 16-8. 16-11, eh? 16-11. So he's ready. He can attack the defenders over there. Using the toolbar buttons the same. Click on the Start Melee button on the left, then select And click add to the melee button from at this point. Okay, so we can click start. Let's see if this works. Combat. Okay, start. Okay. So start. And then select the 27 and add to the melee and select add. Okay, so we this one. Is that add? Oh shit. We might have the clear melee. Okay. Where is he attacking? He's saying the 27th New York and click add to the melee and this is the verify a result. But it's in position, but it is in position to attack the hex. Kirtler has 2 regiments. Okay, so let's just see something. He's talking about. Okay, well, let's just do this one. He's talking about the 27th, which we moved to there, but he didn't tell us precisely. So I'm gonna. This is the hex we're talking about, right? So we're gonna click on. We're gonna click on. Uh, begin the melee. We're gonna. We're gonna add to the melee. Oh, okay. Okay. And then we're gonna resolve. Oh, okay. We didn't take this out, but we resolved the melee. Okay. So basically, there's 2 ways. You can highlight a unit. He's disrupted. You can highlight him and move him across, or you can just use these up toolbars here. You see where I've got it under. It's under. Yeah, it's the combat under. Is it combat? Yeah, it's under combat. That's a series of menus that lights on there. Okay, so yeah, resolve the melee. The results this time are disappointing. The rebels have lost the melee and have failed to take the hex. Lastly, on the rebel left, General Kirkland has 2 regiments positioned to attack the Union flank. But note that the regiment on the far left has become. Yeah, has 2 regiments positioned to attack the Union flank. But note that the regiment on the far left has become disordered due to opportunity fire from the Union defenders. This leaves the 52nd New York available to attack. Repeating one of the methods for melees noted above results in another defeat. This time a loss of 50. So basically, what he's doing is he's doing this he's meleeing all along the way. Yeah, you understand. So he's doing this extra melee. Yeah. 2 regiments. Okay, so those 2 there. Please note the regiment left is ordered. Okay, so he's talking about this, yeah. So this guy, has this guy been attacked? No. So let's bring him there. Okay, then we can resolve. No, resolve it. So we said we haven't done anything there. All our attacks have been naught, right? Okay, now let's take a moment to assess the action so far. Clear the victory dialog button in click on the victory dialog button in the toolbar. Well, we don't have any victory yet, friend. We don't have any yet. Okay, look, fair enough. Okay. Yeah, he's got total points. He's total points at 631 because of he's basically because of his point ratio. Yeah, with killing our units. All right, let's see what he says. Yeah, that's toolbar. Notice at the bottom line, the unit size is a total of 380. Because we didn't take the scenario. We didn't take the, we didn't take this objective. That's why. Okay, so we just didn't take it, and we didn't have that cook down there. The guy that he was going to send him through. AR points, and that the battle outcome is now a draw. The Confederates have made some gains, but don't have a victory yet. Notice also that the Union side's objective point total is now down by to 300 points. So capture, so the capture of Briscoe Station was indeed worth 300 points, and we know that was worth it, but we didn't get in there. Okay. At this point, the Confederates have no more melees to conduct this turn, so it's time to advance the next phase to the Union. Advance the phase to the Union turn. So click on the next turn button, and the game will advance the Union to advance the Union turn. For this demonstration, I opted for the game's AI engine to play the Union side. Click on the yeah. So we're gonna. All right. Okay. So eventually the AI will advance the turn back to the. Okay, so we must advance the turn. So we've got nobody to. There's no more. We've been disrupted. We've been disrupted. And obviously this, we can't attack because it's got to be adjacent. And obviously this is an outdated tutorial file because, I mean, there's a few things like a fog of war doesn't. Like this thing says you shouldn't be able to see the objective fog of war, but the manual. The getting started says you can. It says you can't, but we can. You know, there's subjective points. There's some stuff. Okay, so we'll advance the turn. Yeah, let's go to the next turn. Oh, so there he's moving. See, he's moving his units around. Opportunity fire. I'm just bringing him closer so we can see what it actually looks like. Okay, so he's advancing all up here. So there's a bit of opportunity fire there. There's a bit over there. How does it look if you go in? It shows you little animations as well. I prefer this screen. I prefer this. Yeah, I prefer this. And I've got it on. I don't. Oh, so he's still shooting his opponent. Okay, so Union melee phase. Does he melee any of us? 0 units disrupted out of 3 units checked. Okay, good. And then our turn. I've got it on. Where's the thing now? I think this is alternative view. Yeah. I've got it on. See, this is nice because you can see the facing. But I don't like it like this with the facing. It doesn't look just. Yeah, I'd like to see the O's, man. So I like to see the guys, actually. I like it like this. Alright, so where were we? Yeah, eventually the AI will advance and turn back to the Confederate player, and turn 2 will begin. Yeah, the Union had pulled back a bit in recoil from our initial attack, but they were able to pour some serious lead into our attacking forces. Yes, they did. It's always best to soften up your targets with range fire, preferably artillery, before you close to melee. And you want to have the reserves available to plug the gaps. If they develop from destroyed or routed units. Okay, so you want to have reserves available to plug the gaps if they develop from destroyed or routed units. Okay, whatever. We were aggressive in the first round due to time constraints, but it's a good idea to be a bit more conservative if you can. Now you must organize your force and plan for the future of your offensive. The burden of the attack is on you, so sitting back and waiting for the Union to come to you isn't an option. Of course, we've got to take all those objectives. We can't just sit back. That's what the onus is on us. We won't win it. Going back to our release dialogue, we see that we potentially have extra troops becoming available on turn 3 and 5, and we have potential reinforcements coming on the map on turn 4. So the most prudent thing to do is to solidify our advance and get the troops that have disrupted setup to return to good order. Hopefully the Union will be accommodating and give us some time to build enough strength for our next assault. Now, to quickly rally your troops, they must be removed from the combat zone, from the combat zone. Continuing to receive fire will potentially cause them to rout again. Okay, fair enough. Also, they need to be in command. Best practice is stack them in the same X with an immediate superior in order for them to stand the best chance of passing their morale check and returning to a disrupted state. If all goes well, they would then return to good order and state on the subsequent turn. In our game, we formed a defensive line along the railroad, so he did that, denying that zone to the Union to get denying that zone to the Union to get out of our line of fire, but also keeping pressure on the objective hex we recently took. The points for that hex will remain credited to us until the Union enters the hex to claim them back again. Okay, fair enough. All right. Long sentences. Alright, there'll be an ebb and flow around the battlefield as lines are formed and broken. It's not uncommon for the objectives to change hands several times over the course of a battle. So if you find yourself in temporary setback, don't be discouraged. Rally your forces and come at the problem from a new angle. Play will continue in this fashion until the end of the scenario is reached at turn 10. At the end of the scenario, the program will display the victory dialogue and outcome of the battle. The key to victory is to keep your losses as low as you try to obtain your objectives. Okay, so we're not going to play the 10 scenarios, 10 turns, but you can see it's basically, I mean, I'm going to try and move these guys. I think I'm going to see if I can get these guys. Can they move any further? Okay. Can we get in there? No. So this is what I would actually do. I would try and get these guys, and this is the commander, right? How do we? Is he all gonna? Oh, these are the two commander guys. I would bring them there. Okay. Yeah, these guys here. These guys are still fixed, right? So I would then definitely bring them down here, right? As far as I can get them to get into the sex, to start putting pressure on there. So he can then move up and get that pressure. He can like get that. We'll put pressure here, so he'll have to move troops up to defend it. And this guy, well, can he move? Oh, no, he can't. Oh, shit. Can he move? Alright, hang on. Yeah, we got the objective. Now let's just see what he was saying about that. See, now he's only got 348 his total points because we got that objective. We've claimed that objective from him, so it's deducted from his points that he had 600 and whatever points, and it stands now to draw. Okay, so basically, this is the each of these hexes here in this game is, I think it's 220. Oh, hang on. Where's the? I'm going to show you just the manual. It's 125 or yeah, the 125 yards across. That's the hex, the size of the game. So each of the hexons is 125, and then you've got this. This is quite a bit more complicated than any of the other John Teller games that we've seen. If you look at the manual, it's got quite a bit going on here. I mean, there's quite a bit. There's turn phases. There's mounted units, dismounted units. There's the phases split between movement and firing and melee and all this type of stuff. Movement and melee. There's quite a bit taken into account. So this is preferably one of the more complicated John Tiller games. War Game Design Studios games. the Civil War. And there's like 15 or 20 battles that you can. They originally, John Tiller, when he started with the Talents Off, the Battleground series. It was this was American Civil War, the battles that he started, the Gettysburg. Then he branched out to the Panzer battle. So this was the original games or period that he started with. Excellent, fantastic, man, off the charts, so detailed, but yet easy to understand. You know what I'm saying. Everything's on the right. It's the same with all John Tiller games. Everything's on the right. There you've got your quality, you've got your strength, you've got your movement, and they're easy to understand. Then you right click, you see the order of battle and what it is in the range, and the officers as well. You've got your qualities like your command A. The command is rated on a A to D, and you've got your leadership ratings for morale and then their movements. And you just got to understand that cavalry can be dismounted and mounted. The commanders influence the troops that fight. Very simple. You can play it like point and click, move and go, whatever. But if you want to get into the intricacies, you got to go and read the manual. Fantastic. I love the American Civil War. One of my favorite periods. Love it. And yeah, this is one of the best games that you can find that will represent American Civil Wars. One of the most intricate available that you'll find on the market today, and it stood the test of time because these rules that he's using, these rules that he uses, they were still original. Those original rules that he used way back, like back into the late 90s and 2000, he used this type of rule. All his games are pretty much work on a similar concept. You see yourself. You saw my Panzer battles. Basically, just nuances for the period. Like movement and then fire, or movement and then melee is separate. But you can change all of this here with the optional rules. Yeah, and you see how the detail in all the optionals higher fatigue, recovery rates, isolation rules. All of these are detailed into this American Civil War module, and it's detailed. It's complicated and detailed. It's probably one of the most complicated American Civil War systems you'll find, but yet not so much, not really complicated. It's simple to understand, simple to move, but there's so much nuance in here. And of course you got your where's this thing now? I just wanted to show you one more thing. Where was it? Oh yeah, it is. Parameter data. Now you can see the detail and the depth put into this game, into each scenario and what goes into it. And all the different weapons are represented. Love it, man. One of the best ever. One of the best ever. You won't find anything more detailed and realistically portrayed in the American Civil War than these American Civil War from War Game Design Studio, John Tiller Games. All right, I think I covered it. I think I obviously didn't do justice to this. I mean, I could have gone into more, but I'm pretty sure I left stuff out, and I'm pretty sure I haven't mentioned stuff that I should have mentioned. But I've done my best to just this exceptional game to try and explain to you how this exceptional game actually works. All right, I think that's it. Sean from Combat Simulations. Please subscribe to my channel. It's free, and also leave comments and suggestions, and watch my videos and like them and share them. Helps me a lot. I promise you, it does help me a lot. All right, until our next Getting Started tutorial from John Tiller, War Games Design Studio Games. Good day on you.